Have you ever guessed how many candies were in a jar and totally missed it? Or seen a big sale sign and thought, wait, how much am I actually saving? That's all percent change. And today we're breaking it down with real-life examples and quick tricks you'll actually use. I'm Mrs. C, and this is Math Defined. Percent change is just a fancy way of measuring how much something goes up or down from where it started. It helps us figure out things like price changes, test score drops, or even how much taller you've gotten this year. Here's the formula that we use to find it. Percent change is the absolute value of the difference between the original and new value divided by the original value, all multiplied by 100. If the number goes up, it's a percent increase. If it goes down, it's a percent decrease. And that absolute value? It just makes sure we're always working with a positive difference, no matter which way the change went. Let's say a YouTube video gets 120 views on Monday and 180 views on Tuesday. Not bad, but what's the percent change? Let's use the formula to solve it together. First, find the difference between the two numbers. Let's subtract Tuesday's views from Monday's views. 120 minus 180 is negative 60. But wait, we have a negative. But here's the good news. The formula uses absolute value, which means we can ignore the negative sign. So whether you get 60 or negative 60, we still use the number 60 to keep things positive. Then we'll divide the difference by the original amount, Monday's views. 60 divided by 120 is 0.5. Then to turn that decimal into a percent, we multiply by 100 to get 50%. So now we ask, did the number go up or down? Well, we started with 120 views and ended with 180, so the views went up. That means there was a 50% increase in views from Monday to Tuesday. Not bad for one day. Let's try another one together. Here's a real-life one. The price of a ticket to an amusement park goes from $50 to $65. Yikes, did it go up that much? Let's find the percent of change. Want to try it on your own first? Pause the video now and use the formula. Then hit play when you're ready. Okay, let's see how you did. First, find the difference between the prices. $50 minus $65 is negative 15. Wait, we have another negative number. No problem, that's where absolute value comes in. It just means we ignore the negative sign. So we're working with positive 15. And remember, it doesn't matter if you subtract 50 minus 65 or 65 minus 50, the absolute value makes sure the difference is always positive. Next, we'll divide the difference by the original price. 15 divided by 50 is 0.3. We'll multiply by 100 to turn it into a percent. 0.3 times 100 is 30%. Now, is that a percent increase or decrease? Let's look back. The ticket price went from $50 up to $65. That's a price jump. So we can say the cost of one ticket increased by 30%. We better save up for snacks now, too. Let's try one where the price goes down. All right, let's say a phone used to cost $500. But now it's on sale for $425. Sweet deal, right? But just how good of a deal is it? Let's find the percent of change. First, we'll find the difference between the two prices. $500 minus $425 is 75. Since that's already positive, the absolute value is still 75. Easy. Then we'll divide that difference by the original price, which was $500. 75 divided by 500 is 0.15. We'll multiply by 100 to turn it into a percent, 15%. Now we ask, is this a price increase or decrease? Well, the price went from $500 down to $425, so that's a decrease. That means you just saved 15% off the original price. Not bad. Let's try another one. this time with a basketball twist. A team's average points per game drops from 90 to 72. What's the percent of change? Want to try it yourself first? Pause the video and use the formula. Then come back and check your answer. All right, let's solve it together. First, find the difference between the two scores. 90 minus 72 is 18. Since it's already positive, the absolute value is just 18. Then we'll divide by the original score, 90 points. 18 divided by 90 is 0.2. Multiplying by 100, we get 20%. So the team's average score dropped by 20%. That's a pretty big decrease. I think it's time to work on those free throws. All right, now let's talk about a different kind of percent problem. What if you're not looking at how something changed, but instead comparing a guess to the actual amount? That's where percent error comes in. It helps you figure out how close or how far off your estimate was. And here's the formula. The percent error can be found by taking the absolute value of the estimate minus the actual, divided by the actual, all multiplied by 100. And don't forget, the actual value always goes in the denominator. Let's say you and your friend both enter a jelly bean guessing contest. Whoever guesses closest to the real number wins the prize. You guessed 500 jelly beans. Your friend guessed 550 jelly beans, and the actual number in the jar was 520. So, who was closer? Let's use percent error to find out. We'll find your percent error first. We'll start by finding the difference between your guess and the actual number of jelly beans. 500 minus 520 is negative 20. The absolute value is 20. Then divide by the actual amount. 20 divided by 520 is 0.0385 rounded to the nearest 10,000th. Then multiply by 100 to get 3.85%. This is your percent error. Now let's find your friend's percent error. Your friend's guess was 550. First, find the difference between the guess and the actual number of jelly beans. 550 minus 520 is 30. The absolute value is also 30. Then divide by the actual amount. 30 divided by 520 is 0.0577, rounded to the nearest 10,000th. Then multiply by 100 to get 5.77%. This is your friend's percent error. So, who was closer? Your percent error was 3.85%, and your friend's was 5.77%. Since your percent error is smaller, you win. That's what percent error does. It tells us who was closest to the real number, even if both guesses were off. Let's wrap it up and go over what we learned. Let's do a quick recap of what we learned today. Percent increase, use it when a number goes up, like more views or higher prices. Percent decrease, use it when a number goes down, like a sale or a drop in test scores. Percent error, use it when comparing a guess or estimate to the actual value. And remember, all of these follow a simple pattern. If you can find the difference, divide, and multiply by 100, you've got this. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you out. Until next time, keep practicing, stay curious, and keep math awesome.